just talking about, there's so much naturally to be excited about. But there's also a bullseye the size of Texas on this club's back. But you would have it no other way.
Absolutely. It means we're doing something right. I think so much of it comes down to the guys that we have. They're unfazed by that. The way they prepare, what they do to get ready for a game, that kind of stuff just doesn't really matter to them. And it's fun walking around before a game, and all 26 guys are doing something to help us win a game that night. Whether it's watching video, going over scouting reports, or in their cage, they're talking about the opposing pitcher. And I look out at 3 o'clock and we've got Mookie, Freddie, all of our guys on their knees taking balls, and I look across the field and it's the other team's like 12th, 13th player out there doing early work. And just the culture those guys have created. Guys are definitely going to bring it when they play us, but our guys just aren't fazed by it and do everything they can to prepare to go win a baseball game, and there's no better feeling than that.
That's great. That's great when your leaders and the guys who people look up to are doing the most work. That's how you want it to be in most in every organization and every team. And that's why you guys win. I joked with you when I saw you earlier. You had a big smile on your face. I said, what can you not be happy about? You've won back-to-back World Series. Every great free agent, Todd, guess where they go? They go to the Dodgers, right? Oh, I'll go to the Dodgers. We were joking with Oral, or you guys break every rule with the deferments and this and that.
They just do it better than everybody else.
I know. It was a joke. Oral got mad. It's like you got mad, right? Alana gets mad. She defends the Dodgers to her death. But you guys have just figured out ways from the minor league development, from the draft, to the way you guys sign guys, to the way you make people feel and the way you treat people, to be right now the best organization in baseball. How much pride do you take from that?
A ton. It's so many talented people, the amount of work that goes into it. We talked about this 10, 11 years ago of creating a destination spot, because obviously the goal is to win a championship, but to create a destination spot are things we can control. You can't control winning a championship, but you can control how you communicate with players, the honest approach, how you treat families, how we develop and share information. You can control those things. And so for us, that's been kind of our North Star, to continue to get better and better every year. And the way that plays out is our own guys don't want to leave. And ideally, guys on other teams are longingly looking like, man, I want to be on the Dodgers. And so that's our goal. That's what keeps us going. And I think it's a ton of really talented people, and from the different departments being really synced up. It doesn't mean we don't disagree. We disagree a lot. But I think it's about really talented people coming together and doing anything and everything we can to win.
I want to ask a question about the new guys that came in. Heard you're a very approachable guy. Not many guys like you out there, with brass and baseball. But who out of the new guys that you brought over, the Edwin Diaz, Kyle Tucker, to name, is there one that you talk to, you're like, man, this was a good pick for us? I can just tell by just talking to them.
Obviously we do a ton of work on these guys. We're talking to clubhouse guys, teammates, trainers, broadcasters, anyone and everyone we can, just to get the best feel as we can for a player. Obviously, when we have a guy, we have a better feel, but we're trying to get as good of a feel as we can. And I'll start with Edwin Diaz, just because we signed him first. But obviously, I just heard unbelievable things about him over the years, and got to see it with us competing against him and him coming into Game 6 in the 4th inning. All he cares about is winning. And, hearing that, and then getting a chance to talk to him before we signed him, and had he and his wife on a Zoom, and just kind of getting into the Dodgers and what we do and what we're about and what we hear about him, and just what a perfect match we feel like it would be, and really connected with him. I think the guys who genuinely care about winning, there is a real connection there. And with Tuck, obviously there was some stuff that was written and questions about, how much he likes the game, et cetera, that as we dug into it, we found to be pretty unfair. He's just a lower motor guy. And as we dug on that and got into it, for me, makeup is so much about what you do to prepare yourself to go win a game and how you compete. And I will bet on Tuck with what he does. People say, he doesn't take enough swings before the game. I think most guys take way too many. And If he's not taking enough but goes out and does what he does, so I don't think
the results speak for itself.
Right. I don't
every
think
guy's different. Every guy, Todd, you know this, every guy is different. Every player is different. Everyone has a different way to prepare. Everyone takes a different number of swings. Everyone takes a different number of ground balls. But as long as you're ready to play when that light comes on at 7:05, then it doesn't matter. But there's guys I played with that didn't hit.
Exactly.
Still could go out and hit in the game. There's guys who took 1,000 swings to hit. I didn't take a lot of swings. I took 30 swings a day before batting practice and was, okay, I'm good.
Yep.
Right? It's just different for every guy, and that's what makes every guy different.
But some guys will talk trash about it if it doesn't line up with what they do.
Exactly.
Instead of appreciating the individualized aspect of this. And so as we dug on it, and so I think through conversations with Tuck and his wife Sam and just getting into our organization, our family program, all of it, I think there was a real connection that was created.
Who's responsible for the culture? We hear so much about the culture, the chemistry of this team. Guys want to stay, guys want to be here. Who's responsible for it?
I think everyone. I think it takes a village. I think it's having genuine people who care about it. I think, the honest conversation, I think, is incredibly important to that. The game of assumptions is so dangerous, and we've all been around a lot of players who assume this is what the organization thinks, assumes this is what, instead of having those conversations. And I've had plenty with players over the years where it hasn't gone well in that moment. But later I've had guys come up and say how much they appreciated the honest conversation and knowing exactly where they stood, what things the organization valued, what things they wanted to work with the player on to help enhance. And so I think there are so many fingerprints on that. I think there has to be. And I think it's about having a group of people who believe strongly in collaboration and working together to get to the best possible outcome. And so for us, it's about continuing to raise the bar. We had a meeting this morning, in an area that we don't feel like we're as good as we need to be in. I'll hold it back.
Dang. I was like, what is it?
But in ways that we can really enhance it and have a follow-up meeting this afternoon to really get into it. And so I think it's just holding ourselves to a really high standard and a group of people who all really care about it.
I have a question. I love asking this question. We kind of understand and know who, the 1 through 9 may be. Is there a guy in spring training right now, a younger guy that might come up during this year and, help this team produce? Take health out of it. A dude that you're like, man, this kid could be a ball player. Give me a hitter if you got one off the top of your head.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of really talented minor league hitters in camp, a number of whom are going to start off the year in Double-A, and then a few who are going to start off the year in Triple-A. And just off the top of my head, I mean, James Tibbs coming over last July, taking a little bit. He was traded twice in his first professional year. A little shell shock from that. But I think the way his mind works, how he's kind of dug in with our hitting guys and performance guys, he's looked great. Ryan Ward's coming off an unbelievable year last year in AAA, and just the makeup is off the charts. Those are two guys that feel like could really, if the opportunity arises, if and when, could really do something. And Alex Freeland, we got a chance to see some last year. His makeup, his on-field makeup, the way he plays the game, how much he cares about defense, base running, and what he does in the box, aligns so much with how we see the world, and just we see him continuing to get better and better.
Andrew, you're the Dodgers. You're not supposed to talk about prospects. That's when you were with the Rays that you talked about prospects. Now you talk about free agents, okay? So what did you learn? Or maybe the better question is, you won with Tampa. You've now won with LA. What do you wish you knew, or what did you learn once you come to LA that you wish you had known back when you were with Tampa before you got here? And you can't say, I wish we could spend the money. Yeah, I wish we had the money.
I mean, I think I'm way better today than I was 5 years ago, way better than I was 10 years ago. And it's so many micro things every day. So it's hard to say. I think, part of, when I was with the Rays competing against the Red Sox and Yankees, we had no business ever beating them. And for me, it was forcing us into thinking about how to do things differently. If we approach things the exact same way, we were going to get beaten over the head. And so there were certain disciplines and things of roster building, of, prospects and just things in development and how to kind of individualize things that I always said that it would be so scary if the Red Sox and or Yankees at that time were operating more closely to how we were operating and having the, big stack to bully as well. And so, coming over here, it was something that in a lot of ways was throwing myself in the deep end. I didn't know what the CBT was. I didn't know how it worked. There was a lot that had to learn and figure out on the fly, but it was, if we can take some of those disciplines, not all, because there's advantages that come, but each market has its own unique challenges. People talk about, oh, now you have money. There were benefits to being with the Rays that the Dodgers don't have. You can more proactively, if you're not good enough in that moment, you can be aggressive to add future value to make your future teams better. And you had to do that to be good in that market. And so we've let a lot of really talented players who have left. I remember sitting with Shohei when we were trying to recruit him to come over here. And, the line was, hey, look, however you define our success over the last 10 years, I feel very confident that our next 10 will be even better. And if you come join us, then I feel even more strongly about it. The whole system is designed for us to have the worst farm system in baseball. We pick at the end of the draft. We have less international money. We're not trading our expiring contracts for future talent. And so Shohei just stopped me and goes, how? And it gets to our organization and the integration and the talent that we have throughout.
Plus, you also got an insurance policy when you sign Shohei. This isn't in his contract. If you leave, he gets to leave too. So you were like, this sounds good for my future and Shohei's future.
I told Mark, I said, hey, I did not put him up to this.
Sure you didn't. Sure
and
you didn't.
I promise you I will not ask for more than 20% of the time.
But that must have meant a lot to you. I mean, the best player in the game says, I go, you go, I go.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was him buying into what we were doing, and he didn't get to know me yet. It's curious to see
now
if
he's
he
like,
would still have that.
He's like, I made a mistake. Do you get nervous about guys going to the WBC? Just in terms of, because the greater picture for you, obviously, is another World Series championship. It's like you don't want to take them away from that moment, but you've got a bigger thing in mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I have my baseball fan hat on, I think it's outstanding. I think it's great for the game. Watching it 3 years ago, I loved it. I was hanging on every pitch. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was great for the game. That being said, for our pitchers especially, to throw at that intensity in March worries me. With our designs of playing through October. So it's about preparing these guys as best we can, doing everything we can to put them in the best position to go out and do that, and then see where we're at as they come back. But yeah, the pitching makes me a little nervous. The position players, it's almost that they don't get enough. Like Will Smith and Cal Raleigh are going to alternate. Will's going to have way fewer plate appearances going in than he would have had he been here. And so even just building up the tolerance with his legs to catch and withstand that. So each guy's a little bit different. I love it in a lot of ways, but in some ways, just wearing my Dodgers hat, it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. It should. Especially Edwin Diaz is you talked about him earlier, perfect example of something that can go wrong. We pray that nothing obviously does go wrong. So are the Dodgers ruining baseball? Because everyone you talk to, don't you get tired of that? Because I think what you do is great. You see a player, you want a player, you figure out a way to go get them, whether it's creatively, however you want to put it. And I think it's awesome for the game. And I think good teams make the game better. And now, whether you love the Dodgers or hate the Dodgers, people tune in to watch the Dodgers because we want them to win, and more people tune in because we hate the Dodgers and we want them to lose. So how do you react when people say Dodgers are ruining baseball?
Yeah, I mean,
suck it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
What she said. I am obviously biased. I think it is an incredibly lazy narrative. And you look back 13 years ago, the Dodgers filed bankruptcy. And
people don't remember that, do they?
Exactly. And this is just a really, really strong organization right now where our fan support is incredible. And so the feeling that our ownership group has is we have to fulfill our side of this. And we have to reward our incredible fans who come out 50,000 every night, who on the road feels like almost a home game. The passion that our fans have for this team, it is that partnership and that connection that fuels this. And we obviously wouldn't do it if we weren't in position to do it. And we're in position to do it because of a lot of the great things that have happened over the last 10 to 12 years. And so the counter of this is the people who are saying that is, oh, so you want Mark just to pocket more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, like fans come out because they like watching the best players in the world play this game. That is incredibly difficult to do. And for us to reward our fans and have the best players we can have, we feel like is more common sense than anything.
Two-part question for you. Max Muncy wanted to be here, said left money on the table. There's no place else he wanted to be. Why the timing of the extension? Why did it make sense for you guys? And second question, how can we get Freddie to finish his career as a Dodger after his 2 years are up? He wants to play until he's 40, 4 more years.
Two very different two-part question. All right. Starting with Muntz, we had started talking about a little bit soon after the parade, and it was, hey, look, we've got a lot of heavy lifting to do right now. Let's get through the heavy lifting of the winter, and we'll get back together at some point before spring training. So we knew he wanted to be here. He knew we wanted him here. So we had that jumping off point, and it was, hey, let's just push it until we get through all the craziness. And on Freddie, I mean, the impact that he has had on the field, off the field, has been incredible. He has been right in the thick of so many incredible moments. I didn't think going into that offseason that he would be wearing Dodger blue. And now I don't want to picture him in a different uniform. And so our hope is that he does finish his career here and hopefully has some more rings on his fingers. But yeah, the impact he's had is not lost on us.
Andrew, everyone always looks at you for so long and says, he's so young, he's so young. Well, I just Wikipedia'd you and I actually found out you're older than I am. So how can I get people to say that I'm so young?
Yeah, it's funny, just our vocational choices, I think.
Yes, you can.
I wasn't good enough to be you.
Yes,
so
but you can do your job for a lot longer.
Right,
So
it definitely
it
a
kind of
better
balances.
aging aspect to it for sure. Although I feel like I'm aging in dog years, so maybe not. Maybe
Yeah, if you keep winning, you get younger.
Right, maybe the joke's still on me. We'll see.
Oh, okay, that's funny. And then last one for me is you mentioned Mark Walter, your owner. Can you get me on his golf course in Yulee, the what's it called, White Oaks, I think it's called?
Yeah.
Can you hook that
It's
up?
incredible. We met there.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
Incredible.
Do you have the hookup for me?
Yeah, I do.
There's like rhinoceros and
I
giraffe.
know a guy.
Wait,
There's
what?
like rhinoceros and giraffe
Yeah,
running around
was
the golf
feeding
course.
him.
right?
I've got some videos.
Yeah.
Where is this?
It's
Right
kind of
outside
north,
Jacksonville.
North Florida.
Largest animal preserve in the United States.
Okay.
And there's
With some golf courses.
allegedly
Are they
there's two
rescue? Are
unbelievable
they
golf
rescue
courses.
rhinos? Because that's all I care about.
I-
And they better
how
not
do
be
you-
bought.
How do you rescue a rhino?
Listen, Linda.
How do you
It's
rescue a
Florida. There's things that
That's
happen.
next
there.
off season.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, okay, fine. We'll exchange numbers.
Last question for me. You cannot go to the Lakers full time. Okay? Like, I can't lose you for this team. I don't care about the Lakers like I care about the Dodgers. Okay?
Yeah.
So Lon's over there now.
He is. We traded Lon to the
Okay.
Lakers.
Okay. What do you anticipate that role being like? Not for Lon, nobody cares, but for you.
I think it's just much more, we're all under this Mark Walter TWG umbrella.
Mhm.
And it's about, information sharing, helping each other, and being resources for one another. And it's not easy to have, kind of outside perspective and different people's thoughts. And having that all under this umbrella when things are happening and I can help somewhere or someone else can help us. It's more about just doing everything we can under that umbrella to help each team be as good as they can be.
Well, I guarantee you the Lakers just got a lot better with Mark Walter and that.
So wait, you're not going to go
taking
Paul
over.
DePodesta and go NFL with the Cleveland Browns and
No.
then come back to baseball?
Dodgers are stuck with me.
I think they're
goodness.
okay with that.
Andrew, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we're having another conversation next year about 4-Pete.
I like it. I'm in on that.